Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Scott Newhouse. Thanks for joining me. Today I want to talk about why I do not budget and what I do instead. It might be odd hearing that a financial advisor does not budget. Kind of like hearing that the butcher doesn't eat meat. A little odd, but if you give me a moment to explain, I think it's going to make sense. It is true, I don't budget in the traditional sense of the term. I used to have complex spreadsheets in Excel where I tracked everything that I spent. I looked at everything every single month just to make sure that my spending in each of those categories was in order. I would only spend a certain amount of money on food, housing. Well, housing was consistent, but food, entertainment, etc. Everything was tracked down to the last penny. And today, when you listen to personal finance gurus, they all extol the virtues of a carefully crafted budget, something that you're supposed to work on every month. And if you don't, the insinuation is that you're essentially being negligent. But after doing it for a while, I realized a few things. First of all, my spending really did not change much on a month-to-month basis. Now, it did when I initially started budgeting, but once I got into a groove, I was consistently spending pretty much the same amount of money every single month, unless I went on a vacation or something like that. Second, I realized that I really did not care how much I spent in specific categories on a monthly basis. What I really cared about was how much I spent overall and whether that left me with enough money to fulfill my financial goals, like saving for retirement. And third, and this is related, but I realized that there are a lot more important things in life that I wanted to spend my time on than crunching numbers, understanding whether I spent 13% or 15% of my income on food. We are obviously going to juggle so many different things in life. Our time is precious, so I think we should put it towards things that we truly enjoy and spend less or even zero time on things that don't really move the needle for us. I have also found, working with clients as a financial advisor, by and large, most people don't want to engage on this exercise on a monthly basis, and they don't want to do it from now until the end of time, and they will lose steam after doing it for a couple months. So for all of those reasons, I've decided not to go over my expenses or my budget with a fine-tooth comb every single month. But does that mean it's okay to spend whatever you want and just hope for the best? Absolutely not. So let me tell you about my budgeting system that I use instead. So here's how the system works. First of all, you have to know exactly how much you take home after taxes every single month, you and your spouse. The second thing that you have to do, if you're still working, you need to find out how much you need to save in order to hit your financial goals. So things like retirement, saving for your kids' college, a home down payment. What do you need to save per month to hit each of those separate financial goals? Third, I want you to set up your bank account so that every month money is automatically sent to those investment accounts that will fund your financial goals, like retirement or maybe a non-retirement account that's going to save up for a down payment, and then also a 529, which is going to save for your kids' college. So if you need to save, let's say $1,000 a month into your for your retirement goal, you've got to have that money hitting that retirement account without you having to do a single thing manually, without you ever thinking about it. It just happens once you set it up. Fourth, what you're going to do is you're going to take your total income per month after tax, and then you're going to subtract the total amount that you need to save and invest for your future financial goals. And then the amount of money that you have left over is your spending money. So, for example, let's say you and your spouse take home $6,000 per month after taxes, and you need to save $1,500 a month to hit all of your financial goals. That means that you've got $4,500 per month left over. And the best part is, in my mind, once you are allocating that money towards your financial goals, you can spend that $4,500 however you want, regardless of what percent you spend in certain categories, because you've already accounted for your future financial goals. So there's really, in my mind, no reason to drill down on the specific categories of how that remaining $4,500 goes. The one disclaimer I am going to give you, though, is if you're spending money too freely right now, or if you're outright spending more than you make, then yes, you absolutely have to drill down on the specifics of your budget to see what you're overspending on, and then you need to make those necessary tough adjustments. But if you can get that in control in the next 3 to 6 months and get into a habit where you're spending a consistent amount of money that is less than what you make and accounts for your future financial goals, then I really don't think you need to engage in this type of budgeting for the rest of your life. Once you allocate that money for your goals, you should not worry about spending 23% or 25% of your income on housing or 7% on utilities, 23% on food, whatever the numbers are. It's too restrictive of a model, and frankly, most people aren't going to have the willingness to do it forever for it to be fully effective anyways. So once you know what you need to save and spend for your future financial goals, and then you get it automated so it's happening every single month, I would encourage you to forget that extreme level of budgeting details. Feel confident that you know you're on the right track, review it regularly, and then enjoy your life and your money however you want. Hope this helps. I'll see you next time. Bye.